Hello and welcome to the Inventors Arena. I'm Ed and this is Scott, and today we're discussing best practices. Scott, let's kick it off.
Sure. You know, Ed, you and I have been doing this a long time, probably 50 years between us, and we've created a lot of programs and a lot of best practices. And we've taken all of our knowledge and we put that into this program. And we think one of the most important first things for everyone to do is to download the course guide.
Yes.
That course guide is going to be an important document that you will refer to throughout all 12 modules of the program. And we want you to make it your own. And by that, I mean, if you want to come here and get it each week, that's fine. But we recommend that you download it, you save it, you print it, you do whatever you need to do to make sure that you have access to that course guide every time you open up a new module. And we want you to look at it and read that material each time as one of the first things for each module, even before you watch the video.
Yes.
Yeah. The other thing we want to mention is we think it's very important for every inventor to protect their idea. So we have an NDA early in the program that we want everybody to sign and execute, and it just protects them and their idea moving forward.
Yeah, everything is confidential within here. And if you're in the portal, it keeps everything saved for you in there. So it's a good document to have.
That's good. Also, along the way, you're going to fill out a business plan. And a lot of people get intimidated when they think, I've never done a business plan. You know, how do I do that? Well, we provide a template for you. And you need to download that template from the very beginning, and you will work on it throughout the course. So don't look at it as this huge document that has to be completed all the way at the end of the program. You will work on it as you go through. Your answers and responses will automatically populate into the template. It's not as big as it looks. So we want everybody to not get intimidated by the business plan template. But we do want you to download it from the very beginning and look at it and become very comfortable with it.
That's correct. And we've also, to make it less intimidating, we've also included sample filled copies too. So you see a sample business plan that's done, and then you can kind of compare it against yours, and same with the pitch deck and so forth.
Yeah, you mentioned pitch deck. We also have a PowerPoint pitch deck that we recommend everybody download from the very beginning, because at some point in time, you're going to be sitting in front of an investor, and that investor is going to say, tell me about your idea. And you don't want to make it up the first time while you're sitting there with the investor. So we've created what we think is a good industry standard pitch deck that will work for every inventor to modify and make it their own. But we've given everybody the first draft, the first template for that.
Yes. And in the end, you'll be finalizing your documents. A lot of them will come out with almost everything done, but then in the end, you'll be able to download it and be able to add in pictures or graphs or whatever you need to do. So it's really very functionally put in there. And it's also very flexible too. So if you want to add some jazz one way or the other, or if we have a talk and you want to take out some stuff, then it can certainly be done.
Yeah. I think the last thing I'll add is we have worksheets throughout each module, and those worksheets are to help guide you along the way so you're not having to create everything from scratch, as we say.
Correct.
So we've provided you with the first template on everything that will be discussed throughout the modules. And we think it's important you download those worksheets, you use those worksheets, and your answers to those will also populate in all of your documents.
Yes, the beauty of having it in the portal. And reviewing the documents in each section, it's good to do that before each class, before you're turning on your video or whatever. Just kind of have everything all set out as neat as you can, and then have them available for ready reference, right? Especially the accompanying worksheet, because, you know, if you're flying through stuff, you're like, oh, here's the worksheet. Be filling it out as you go. Don't be tempted to leave empty spots in there. Make sure it's done thoroughly. And then watch the video or whatever order, but and then complete as directed. And then watch the next and so on. So, and it's so important on that note to keep good notes and add to them into the corresponding documents as you go. Now, if you're on the portal, they're going to automatically get added into there. And then in the end, some of it you got to add it in by yourself or whatever. But it's good to keep that in mind. Always good to have good notes.
Yeah. We figure nobody's done this before.
Yeah.
So as you learn something new each time in each module, you need to capture that because you'll probably use it again at some point throughout the program.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I always suggest rereading the course guide section after watching the video. Scott had mentioned that our suggestion is to read the course material in the guide first, then watch the video, but I always suggest rereading it too. And in my way of learning over my career, it's been really put an emphasis on stuff. It's reviewed stuff. It's made it stick better. So anyway, however it works for you, what we're looking for is that you get a really good grasp on all the learning presented, and reread is needed. Some of it we realize is quite condensed material. So sometimes you might have to stop and watch or rewatch or whatever, maybe 3 times or whatever. But anyway, just do it as needed, and try to follow the timelines as close as possible. If you're running on different schedules or whatever, just try to keep doing week by week your work and be very proactive on it. So, you can stay on pace, and sometimes there'll be group activities. So we want to keep everybody all on pace together if possible. So, and ask questions as you go. I would suggest highly that you research the questions on the FAQ section first, obviously, and all the contents in there, and then do any of that before asking, because I've found, at least for myself, when I look up something that I have a question on, it in essence burns in my brain, and then come test time or come whatever time, it's readily recollectable. Because, you looked it up and you found the answer to the question, and yay, I found the answer and I'm never going to forget it. If you have any questions, you can ask them on the portal. And when you do so, please just think it out really carefully first, what you're actually asking, and ask in a logical order so we all can be efficient.
Yeah, I will add that we've used AI throughout all of our materials. So as you ask your question, it's going to peruse through the course guide, the modules, the videos, and everything, and it's going to generate an answer for you. So the better your question is, the better your prompt, as they say, the better response you'll probably get.
Yeah, and you'll be able to search through the documents, you'll be able to rewind the videos, whatever, the answers will be in there, but sometimes they'll be a little hidden. But yeah, that AI tool's really handy. And I would also suggest that everybody actively read the content, watch the content as you go, right? Like, be thinking, how does this relate to my invention? What am I going to be doing in my business plan? And just do your best, like anything else. And I guess above all, let's have fun, right? There's no point in taking stuff if it's terrible and begrudging. Let's have fun and do really well, roll towards success.
Yeah, this is your project, your idea. Make it fun. It's got to be fun.
Yeah.
If it's not, it's going to be a long journey all the way from concept to cash. So
That's right.
But along with that, there has to be some learning along the way, because we realize as an inventor, your idea, your product, your area of expertise. You may not have ever written a business plan. You may never have thought about, well, who would be an ideal customer?
Yeah.
You may never have thought about, what would I ask an investor when I sit across the table from them? So there's a lot of learning that will take place as they work through the module, right, Ed? We've created that purposefully so that you are prepared when you reach all the way to the end so that you can monetize your idea.
Yes. Very important. Yeah, just keep learning and have fun doing it. And with that, I want to talk about keeping the pace. We mentioned a little bit ago that, there's modules in there, and generally 1 week per module is what is a good timing. I think you don't want to burn yourself out, but on the same hand, you want to, not race to the end, but keep a good steady pace. So you keep that momentum rolling. It's awful easy to drop off in things if you lose your momentum. Just say, oh, I'm too tired this week, or I'm too busy this week. If you can just make the time and follow through, sometimes it might be you're on a plane trip and you got to read the paper version of your guide, or you can say, oh, I just got enough time for a quick video while I'm standing in line here at the bank, or whatever works, right? But just try to keep that pace.
Pacing is important. We like progress, continuous progress forward. A lot of inventors don't do that, and they reach a hurdle or an obstacle, and then they just kind of slow up, and they never make it to the end. So we see value in moving forward all the time.
Absolutely.
And if you do struggle and you do meet that hurdle at some point in time, and you probably will, it's good to reach out. It's good to reach out to people like inventor groups that are all across the United States. And we list those on our website all the way at the bottom of the inventorarenas.com. And everybody should go there and find a local or the closest inventor group to you and try to visit them at least once as you're completing the program.
Yes.
You'll be amazed. Ed and I travel across the country. You'll be amazed at the amount of knowledge and expertise that is in that room. Many times there are people there that have been through what you're going through right now. It is key to be there, to interact with them, to listen to the workshops. We often give those workshops. There's a lot of information to help move you forward in those groups.
Yes, absolutely. We encourage that. And it's just even a level just of support, like Scott mentioned a little bit, like not feeling like you're all alone, because sometimes it gets pretty daunting, especially when it gets difficult or expensive, or you just kind of don't know which way to go. There's all kinds of people out there with experience. Of course, you want to be confidential with your information, but yeah, inventors groups are a good idea. And watching our YouTube channel, we hope we bring you great content on different things, that everything inventor related. If you want to see different things, then let us know. But I think it's very important to watch not only our YouTube channel, but watch for other good content too. You know, you can be reading books, you can be watching other YouTube things, all kinds of stuff, right?
We're lifelong learners as well. We're always reading and watching videos, and we learn something new all the time, just like our inventors do.
Yes.
Yeah.
An important point is mentors too. I think that's so critical to anybody having success, especially when a lot of the stuff that you're learning is difficult. We're not going to kid ourselves. That's why inventors have a hard time sometimes, because they're like, how am I supposed to be able to do 2D drawings? Now they want 3D drawings, and now they want a prototype, and now I got to figure out, how much the price point is on it, and
they want a business plan and a pitch deck. Where do I find someone to help with that? And mentors can do that. Yeah. And it's good to find at least somebody who has brought a product to market, someone similar to you, but has been successful in actually monetizing their idea.
Yeah, exactly. And kind of going back to mentorship for just a brief second, I would really suggest that look for mentoring. I think that's very wise. You can gain the value of 20, 30 years of somebody having experience in the industry or doing whatever. And you can sometimes knock that out in a 20-minute meeting, on a break or something, or after the class, take them out for coffee or something. And also with that, I would also mention that as you are getting mentored, think of how you can mentor others. And because I believe everything's pay it forward and also a two-way street. So if you're getting mentored, I think it's fabulous that if you're the younger person at the table and you're getting mentored, well, offer up something to the mentor that, something you can do with your youth. Maybe it's run around for some errands, or maybe it's help with some technology stuff for them, or it's, there's all kinds of ways you can help. And it shows that you're very grateful, and it makes it a two-way street, and everybody likes traveling on a two-way street. And you should also be looking out how you can be helped and help others. So I think that's very important to have as kind of a mindset as you go through this thing.
Yeah. Once you complete the Inventors Arena program, you will have all of this knowledge that you can now share with the next generation of inventors out there. You can be the mentor.
Yeah, exactly. Maybe, Scott, you can talk for a couple seconds on staying on budget.
Oh, the budget. Okay.
You be the main guy.
Yes, the budget. Every project has to have a budget. It does take money to bring an idea all the way through fruition to where you monetize it. And it's important to create a budget early on and figure out how much available funds do you have that is your own. And then from family and friends, and then to branch out to, venture capitalist or small business administration or angels or whoever you want to be. but it's important that you are very lean from the very beginning. You do not want to run out of money because you misbudgeted from the very beginning.
Right.
And you don't want to chase shiny objects, which we see a lot of inventors do, that think, I'm going to pay all of this money for this neat feature over here that you'll learn later the customer really didn't even care about.
Yeah, or something that they're like, oh, yeah, you can pay this amount, and you won't have to do anything, and it'll turn out wonderful.
Yes. But we live in the real world where we do all have to live by a budget. And that's important for two reasons. One, you don't want to run out of money. No. You want to budget along the way. And secondly, when you do sit down with an investor, they're going to ask you, how much money have you invested into this already? It's one of the questions that's asked nearly every time.
Yes.
And you want to be able to show that you've grown this much, but you've only spent this much.
Yes.
You've been very resourceful.
Steward.
Yes. Yeah, that's important.
Yeah, it's so super important. And it's just being under financial stress, as most of us know at some point in our lives, is just not fun. So always good to budget. Thanks for that, Scott. So, and like we mentioned before, we're here to help. Inventors groups are just down the street from you, so we'd encourage you to link in with them. The Inventors Arena will continue to deliver content on this YouTube channel, so we invite you back each and every week and hope that you're enjoying it. If you're looking for something else in it, then let us know. And check out our program at theinventorsarena.com when you get a chance.
Yeah, we do want to hear from you. We want to hear the ideas that you have, the topics that you want us to discuss. We're very much into receiving feedback, and we also would appreciate if you like the programs that we're doing, that you like and subscribe for them for new content.
And thumbs up never hurts. Have a great week.
The inventors are